Good evening, everyone. Hope everyone is well on this beautiful Friday. So yeah, just to let you know, the SFL has now started, and the amateur football platform is part of this journey. So hey, this is going to be a new segment every single Friday where I'll be talking to players, coaches, and managers about their teams, but more importantly, about those individuals. For like you guys to actually get to know those individuals more. Enough about that. Enough about that. Enough about that. Let me get straight into it. Straight to this. I've got House from Kumazi Strikers. What's going on, sir?
How are you, man? You okay? Thank you for having me.
No. Thank you for like coming on. And hey, you know what? Let's kind of let's kind of start. You guys played Hacks FC last week, Sunday.
Yes.
Could
Yes.
you kind of quickly run down in terms of what the score was and how well or they played and how well you think Kamazi played?
First of all, congratulations to Hacks, obviously, because they won. It was 4-1 to them in the end. In terms of the game, from our side, we started well. We had a few problems, but to me, we had enough players there that were, good enough to start. So we started well. We was first 10-15, we was really dominant, and we got a really fluky goal. Like a really, really fluky goal. And then after that, I think the game just changed. It started changing. Hacks, I think they're a team that's very resilient. You can see that they've been together for a while and they've played together. They understand each other. I think with Kumazi, we're still let's say we can say like a new team. It's quite fresh. No matter, we got a very good squad, but it's still fresh, so people are still getting used to each other in a sense. But no excuses, because Hacks done really well. They're a very resilient team. They had a very good few little wingers at the side that were quite fast, and they started causing problems. And then we made, literally, it was on us really. We made 3 mistakes that you can't make in this league, and we got punished for it. And then that's really what happened. So it was a learning curve. These days as positives in a sense. And move on from it. But it was a good learning curve from us.
Cool. And in terms of preseason, how well or how prepared were like you guys during the preseason? Because like you said, it's a new team, so you guys are in a transitional period.
Yeah, we had I'll just say we have a good preseason. The only issue with I guess playing on Sundays is trying to get a consistent team. We have a lot of boys, but each week there was different clienteles, so it changes. So it was hard to get some sort of consistency. But it was a good preseason. We got a lot of boys fit, and that's for us. There's a bigger plan than just winning trophies in a sense. We want to actually help people. That's the reason why there's a motivation project. The other Kumazi side, the young boys, we're here to actually try and mentor young boys and make them understand life situations and grow into men, grow into young men. So at the same time, when things like this happen, we always want to try and teach and learn and make them learn and understand things.
Yeah, love that. And to anyone that's watching, please feel free to put your comments or like questions. Again, this is an interactive show. This is not like an interview-based thing. We're here to build conversations and to build more awareness. So putting like Kumazi aside, let's kind of know a little bit more about you. So okay, what was your first footballing memory?
As in where my first footballing memory. My first footballing memory was.
I'm going way back, bro. I'm going way back. Come on.
Was me. I'm a Lucian boy, so I played for Lucian Youth, and I I could play football, but I didn't understand the rules. So it was a goal kick, and the ball was passed out to me, but I was in the box, and it happened like 4 times. The referee was trying to blow it back, give it back, but I just didn't understand. But yeah, that's if you say first memories, that's one of my first ever memories. That always sticks to me or makes me remember how much I've grown in football.
And actually, how was your kind of family dynamic regarding football? Were they very supportive? Was it all about education? How did kind of things navigate with you?
Both, they were very supportive in football. My dad trained me a lot. Me and my brother, he trained us a lot. He was really on us, but he was on education as well. You have to learn. You have to do work. You have to do things like that. So, like at that way, the pressure was on. The pressure was on in my household. But yeah, they were definitely supportive in football. They were a main reason why I was in football, in a sense.
And are you like the oldest, the youngest? Are you the middle child?
I'm the youngest.
You're the youngest. Okay.
I'm the youngest. Yeah.
So like, did you feel like you was kind of competing with your brother and also competing to kind of get your dad's attention when it kind of came to football?
No, not really, because me and my brother, we were always close, so it was always me learning from him, and and it's always been that way, So I was learning from him, watching what he was doing. He was always doing things first, obviously, because he was the older one, and I used to join in with him and join in with the older lot, so it made me a lot better. But no, I don't feel like we ever competed. I don't think it was like a competition. I think he was happy when he saw his little brother becoming good, sort of thing. So we never really competed like that.
Mm-hmm. So kind of moving on from kind of playing, as in like your first memory regarding Lewisham. So when did you notice, or when was that kind of transition where you're like, you know what, I'm actually kind of good at this game, who kind of spotted you, or was it just I don't know, just kind of like a growth within the game?
Definitely a growth in the game. I think Lewisham Youth, I got scouted from Lewisham Youth, so I definitely grew with Lewisham Youth straight away. I learned a lot playing for that team, but at the same time I was training. So because I was training, it was easier to learn a lot quicker, So I was becoming better than I remember. I think I got scouted by Mickey. I can't remember, Mickey Abbey, rest in peace. He was a scout, but he died a long time ago. Anyway, but yeah, he scouted me to QPR when I was about 8 or 9. I think I was 8 or 9. So I was in the system from quite young. I was straight away in the system, going to places like Bisham Abbey, which is like the England training ground, and doing tournaments there and stuff like that. But yeah, because I was training a lot. I was always training. So the other kids who were just playing for fun, I was actually learning quite quickly because I was getting trained in all different, I was doing so much athletic things. I was doing karate. So I was doing so much. It was so much. I was becoming so strong that I think I was also playing in the league in the older age group as well. So it was a lot. It was a lot when I was young. I was doing a lot of sports.
And within your kind of QPR age group, or literally that generation, how kind of was the friendship groups there? Was it competitive? Were like people helpful? How was the whole dynamic?
QPR was it was different when we was younger because we had it was split, so they had South London and West London. So there was South London training, the boys that would go to South London to train with QPR, and then the West London boys. And then when it was a match, we meet up, So there was a lot of competition, South and West, even at that young age. We we knew they were the West London boys, and we had to impress to get in the team, sort of thing. But it was always fun. It was always fun. I don't feel like there was a few boys that you didn't really get along with, but more time it was fun. All the boys were enjoying it, So yeah.
And what ages? Or see, what age were you at QPR till?
8 to about 12, I believe. I think I got released at 12. That's when I started, getting my growing pains. I was playing. Also, used to play on such hard grounds when we was younger. Like everything was concrete or something like that. And then when I started to grow, I started to get things like osgood-schlitters, which I think a lot of people knew. I had to get keel surgery and stuff like that. So I was always getting injured. So I got released from QPR at that point, but I wasn't good enough because I just couldn't use my body like how I was when I was a bit smaller, and So I left QPR about 12. I think it was 12, 13.
Okay. And of course, there's been like a lot of talk about mental health, not like only in men, but also at academy level in terms of how much pressure there is.
Yeah.
Can you remember how you felt when like they were talking about you like moving on, and literally how did that affect your confidence and also your like life outside of football as a kind of young kid, not a teenager yet?
The problem was when I was younger, I just always wanted to play for fun. It was just fun. When we went to Queens, when we went to QPR, it was still fun, but until that decision-making day, and then they're judging you on, what they think about you or about. But at them times, there's no social media, so there's not things that can make you understand what's going on. So I felt like at that time, no one, not even my parents, were able to get me prepared for what was about to happen. Do you know what I mean? So when I did get told, it hurt because you're getting told you're good. Oh, now you're playing in a better team. You're good. And then someone tells you you're not good, and this takes everything away from you. It's a big, that slap in the face of how cruel life can be and sort of thing. But when I was young, I probably just bounced back off it. But to be fair, I didn't play football after that for a little bit. Like I've got a lot of that in my career. Like sometimes I just ghost away from football and not play. You know what I mean, for a couple of years or something like that.
Yeah. So I just want to go in the comments quickly. Millie from Hollington has said, "Big up my brother, big house."
Hey, love.
and then we've got Mo, football coaching. Thank you. And then we've got the Chris, the Wizard Hubbard.
Hubby,
you know what I'm saying? Quality player. So yeah, you've kind of talked about literally falling out of love with the game. Yeah. So literally, once you got released from QPR, what was like your next move, and literally how long did it take you to kind of get back within the football community?
So when I wasn't playing, now my school friends were onto me, you should come play. At the time they were playing for Pello. One of my school friends' dad was one of the managers of Pello. For people that are from like East Dulwich, Brixton area, they'll know about Pello. They were in a league called the Tandridge League. I don't know if you don't remember that league, whatever. But anyway, yeah, they were on to me, but I just didn't want to play. I didn't want to play. At that time, what was annoying was being taken away from the quality. So now I had to get used to playing with players that wasn't like all the players that I was just playing with. So it made me stop liking football. I hated it. I didn't actually enjoy going there because I'm not playing at the level that I want to play at, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, 100%.
So maybe like a year or 2 years, then or maybe a year and a half, and they convinced me to join Pello, which probably was the best decision to make because that's what started my career really. So
love that. And literally at that age, that tender age of 12, 13, did you know what position you wanted to play?
I started off as a right winger. Imagine that. So I got scouted to QPR as a right winger. I was super fast when I was younger and powerful. Couldn't look up. I just run, kicked and run, and you know what I mean. Like, I was just
Kanchelskis.
yeah, it was just beastie. You know what I mean. And then yeah, when I left, I thought at that time striker. I'm scoring goals. I score goals. I just score. Like I've got a great strike. Like at that young age, I thought, yeah, that's me. I'm gonna be a striker. So I joined the club as a striker, sort of right winger, sort of to see. And yeah, that's where I played. I played for them, right winger striker.
And then, how did your career transcend?
So we went unbeaten for 3 years.
Wow.
Like something like that, or like 2.5 years, something like that. And then the game that we lost, I got scouted. So I got scouted as a striker for Arsenal, and then was at Arsenal for a little bit. Blah blah blah. Then went to had a little issue with Arsenal, and Arsenal gave me decisions that I can go to Southend or Crystal Palace. Went to both of them, and they both offered me a contract. And then when I was at Crystal Palace, Ian Dowie and Bob Dowie were there, the managers and stuff there at the time. And they both came up to me one day and they were like, "You're massive. You're massive. You're one of the most defensive strikers I've seen. You can tackle anybody. You tackle. So why don't we try put you in defense or something like that?" And I was like, whatever. They played me one game. I had a blinder, and then it was like, oh, from there, yeah, centre back, centre back, and then that's what it was at Crystal Palace. Through my actual scholarship going on, I was having to learn a whole new position now. So I had to a whole new position of learning how to become a centre back. You know what I mean? I've been playing forward my whole life, and then now that's what it was. So that's how it transcended. Yeah.
So I mean, it's actually quite interesting just hearing you speak, and then how you literally brushed over like the Arsenal journey. So that journey wasn't fulfilling for you. Like there were just issues from the start.
It was the best. That journey made me. I went from a player that was here to like here in the space of like a year of being with Arsenal. The academy is crazy. The training they do is next level. You know, I went from playing Sunday League, training once a week in Crystal Palace on AstroTurf. You know, like everyone's just playing games. There's not really, technical training. Learn technical. You go to Arsenal now and they're doing technical. You got to do basically samba and dancing, and to be rhythm, you have to do the rhythm. That's Arsene Wenger was there at the time. You bring in a different style to whole things. Everything was pass, move. Like it was just mind blowing. But it made me such a better player. I think I played one game. I've got played one game. They signed me. No, I played one training session. Sorry, from the game that we lost when I was at Pello, they scouted me. I went to one training session, and there's names there that now who are footballers like Henry Lansbury, Jack Wilshere, Sanchez Watt, Manuel Frimpong. Like all of them are in training. Like it's serious, and then I've just fit in straight away. Like everyone, they're like, boom, signed up straight after training. One training session, I was like, wow. Like gave me the kit, boots. It was the time when Arsenal was wearing the yellow.
Yeah.
Gave me everything. Like gave me fresh boots, everything. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. What's this about?
And literally going to Arsenal and literally having that euphoria. I mean, coming like back home and then of course literally talking to your friends. Like how was well, did the dynamic change? And
100%.
and literally how like was then your like support network
I
at
won't.
home, at school, like
I
how was
won't. I won't say any names, but I had a friend that actually we went to school near each other, and he'd been in the system a bit longer than me, or lasted longer, right? And when he heard that I got into Arsenal and been signed, when he saw me, he's like, "I hate you. I hate you. I actually hate you."
it?
And obviously at the time I thought it was sort of funny, but it sort of did make me think, hold on, people are acting a bit different now, It was a lot harder, to travel to North, going to North. It wasn't easy. I wouldn't say it was an easy thing for my parents but we did it, and it was for the benefit of myself, Actually, like I said, if I didn't do that, I don't think I would have got the contract at Crystal Palace, to be fair, because it prepared me for that level. So when I went to Crystal Palace for a training game, when they scouted me, I was ready. And in that game, they had Victor Moses, Sean Scannell, Johnny Bostock, and they just thrown me in, like I've just thrown in, like, yeah, let's go and see what you can do, and yeah.
Wow. So how like old were you when you went to Palace?
Just left school, 16. So I went. Basically, Palace had already chosen their scholarships. They already had all their scholarships. So when I got scouted, I was at the age of they have to give me a scholarship. You have to be good enough to get a scholarship. Do you know what I mean? So I've gone from Sunday football to now you're in in real stuff. You know what I mean? In the real profession. But I still didn't really understand it yet. Do you know what I mean? I didn't really understand what a scholarship was. I didn't like the kids nowadays, or this generation. They understand everything. Do you understand? Everything's so given. They understand it. They know what a scholarship is. They know what they're trying to go for. They know, like, all the kids that I was playing with didn't even know. My friends didn't know what a scholarship was. When I was telling them, yeah, I'm gonna go and play football and they're gonna pay me, and they were like, it was like a what? Like, what? Are you serious? I said, yeah, I don't have to go to college. Like, I go to college at football, and it was just you know what I mean, a shell shock. Like, it was just crazy for us to believe that, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So anyway, like I said, I played the game, I played really well, and they signed me straight away. Same thing with Arsenal, signed me straight away. Gave me a 2-year scholarship. It's funny because I played one game at Southend, and Southend offered me a 2-year scholarship and a 1-year pro, and I didn't take it because it was too far. Because if you had a problem with North,
Southend is
you're gonna have a massive problem with Southend, So Crystal Palace, obviously, I'm from Crystal Palace, so I'm from basically Crystal Palace. I'm there. I was on my doorstep, so might as well go for the 2-year scholarship. And if I'm good enough, I'll get the pro. You know what I mean? That's how I thought of it. You know what I mean?
So now, literally being converted into a centre back, and literally you've kind of got those like 2 years to, like, let's say, prove yourself. I mean, what adjustments did you have to make, and can you remember any kind of games where you thought, you know what, that was blatantly my bad, and some games where you were like, you know what, I have to give it to myself, I was absolutely outstanding?
It was hard at first because I think, like, in how I was raised, the striker's the best player, and I was always the best player. Do you get what? That's how I felt, and I feel that energy when I play. That's what I try to project to people. And when I got put to centre back, it was like, what are you trying to say? Are you not trying to say something to me? So I had to, as a young man, sort of hold my aggression, like I used to play at centre back, and because I knew I could take touches, I'd want to take touches because that's what I'm used to. At front, being asked to do something, you know, but in centre back, you're not asked to do something. You're just asked to give. And I was like, okay. It was very hard. People would get upset with me, you know. There was times where I'll take too much touches, lose the ball, boom, it's a goal, you know. Oh no! But in my head, there was the next times where people knew I'll do a Cruyff turn on our box, edge of our box, get away with it, ping it 40 yards. Do you know what I mean? So it was just adapting to learning that as a centre back, you don't have to do too much, but it was hard to accept that. It was hard to accept that as a guy that was always asked to do, you know, yeah, go on, get the goal for us, go on, assist, go on, and then now you're asked, no, just go and give it. It's like, are you trying to say that I'm not good enough? You know, as a young man, you don't hear what people say. You start thinking, thinking, and I was an overthinker. So yeah.
And like, you know, any kind of games that kind of stand out that were good or bad or indifferent?
I remember a game against Tottenham that was I had a really good game against Tottenham, but a game that obviously stands out for me is the one that I think was my career sort of ender. But it's really I'm happy because it started off a start of injuries that started to mess up my head. So I was playing against Canvey Islands, reserve game, done well, got to the reserves. Peter Taylor's the manager and he's watching. He's the under 21s England manager as well at the same time. And, you know, they're spoken to my dad and they're saying, you know, I'm doing well, whatever. If I do this, if I do that, you got a good chance of getting a chance, you know? Playing Canvey Islands, I'm having the craziest game of my life in front of everybody. No one's getting past me. I'm doing everything, but it's pouring with rain. I'm gone in for one challenge at Canvey Islands. The ground goes down. So it's like
Okay.
you know them sort of grounds.
Yeah, at the for like throw-ins and like it's I know
it goes down.
It goes down.
But it had like a metal railing all the way around.
Yeah. So yes.
Do you understand? Like so
yes.
people were stand where people stand, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I've gone in for a challenge and I've slid, but because it's raining, I've continued. I've got the ball and I've continued. I've ended up. I'm so like big at that time. My arms ended up underneath the railing. My whole body's continued gone. I've dislocated my shoulder. I don't even know it's dislocated these times. All I can see is 100 people from the stadium running towards the gate because I can't. It's pouring with rain. I'm just on the floor. You know, I can't even see what's going on. I can see Peter Taylor, my dad, everyone's trying to lift up this gate. By the time I've seen it, I can hear someone telling me, pull your arm out. Pull your arm out. I said, huh? What are you talking about? Pull my arm. I said, pull your arm out. I pull my arm out and my whole arms is just totally desiccated in the worst way possible. So from that point now, I can feel it. Now I can feel it. I'm like, fuck, that my shoulder's gone. And I've just passed out, literally on the pitch. I've just passed out. Next thing I know, I've woken up. I'm in foil. I'm in foil in the changing rooms. And they rushed me to Southend Hospital, saying that the doctors see me, and he's like, they've got me in gas and air, and they're like, we're gonna have to pop your arm back in position. But what we are telling you, this is one of the worst dislocations we've seen, because usually when people dislocate their arm, it goes forward. You've dislocated your arm and it's gone backwards.
Wow.
So you're gonna have to get surgery to make your arm basically sit back here. Even now, when I do this, I can't raise my arm straight because it's just been damaged ever since, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah. Crystal Palace, big up Crystal Palace, you know, got me private hospital, everything, you know, paid for it all, got me the surgery really quickly, had the surgery, but then Now that was at the point of when you're going to get a pro. So I got offered a pro, 6 months. 6 months pro. When you come back from injury, come and show us, what you're about. When I came back from injury, my arm basically, I didn't realize what my arm. Me, I'm barging, man. That's me. I couldn't mentally. I just couldn't play no more. I just was so scared to go in. There were certain times I'll go in and it would hurt me, and then I just couldn't be who I wanted to be. I couldn't impress, more. You know what I mean? So at that time, mentally, I was done. You know what I mean? I was finished. But what I didn't realize at that time was it wasn't Crystal Palace wasn't the end all. It wasn't the end all. But for me, I felt like Crystal Palace had drained me from my football. I'd been drained. I'd be like, I can't continue because all I'm doing is getting hurt now. I've been injured. I've done my knee injury. I've done my knee surgery. I've done my ankle surgery. Now I'm doing my shoulder. I was like, this is a lot. You know what I mean? So, that's what happened, really.
Wow. So, I mean, again, as a young man, literally, you are probably still a teenager at this time, so probably you're about 18. So you're about 18 at the time. I mean, that's a traumatic journey, and you kind of alluded that like wasn't the end of your journey, but probably laying down on that hospital bed, knowing certain things like that must have been kind of, I'd say, borderline, my life is done, type of moment, right? I mean, yeah.
I had a sling that wasn't a normal sling, so it was a cast, but it was like a black cast, but it had a big cushion underneath it because my shoulder had to sit in a certain position so it could recover. Because if I kept on moving it, it wouldn't recover properly. So for 6 to 9 months, I'm sitting like this. I'm sleeping upwards like this because my back has been ruptured, so I can't actually lay on my right hand side. I can't sleep on my left hand side because my shoulder's out of position. So I had to sleep and learn how to sleep like this for a while. It done me in. It done me in. I can't lie. When I was younger, it mentally, I was, we went to Jamaica on holiday and we went to a place called Bath Fountain. It's a volcanic rocks and volcanic water comes out, and the Rastas there, they massage people with the water and say it will heal your bones and heal stuff like that. So I was there, and the man was there hitting me with this hot water, and I mean it's volcanic water, it's boiling. And since then was the only first time afterwards when it was healing that I actually felt like, oh my god, some hot water has sort of made my bones feel good, Oh my gosh. But no, it was a dramatic, because at the same time, all you're thinking when you're injured is everyone's playing.
Yeah.
Everyone's playing, and everyone's showing off. Last week they won 4-0.
Clean sheet.
Guy,
yeah.
He's playing and they had a clean sheet, and I'm sitting there not being able to do anything. It's a very hard game, to be in. You have to be so mentally strong.
So what happened after Crystal Palace?
After Crystal Palace, I went to Bromley. After Crystal Palace, I went to Southend actually. I went to Southend. Wasn't really enjoying it. Like, it wasn't the same as when I was younger, and I think I was expecting more because I was at Crystal Palace. So because I was at Crystal Palace, I was expecting more from Southend at that time. So I didn't really enjoy it. So I went to Bromley. And then I was playing at Bromley for a bit. I think I played there for maybe like a season or two, and then life just went downhill from there for a bit, bad mistakes, bad decisions and stuff like that. And then,
Could you elaborate on the bad mistakes, bad decisions?
Boy, I went from being at the top of the scale to being right down to the bottom, you know, being caught up in the wrong people, the wrong stuff, you know, after Bromley, or throughout Bromley, and I went to Dulwich Hamlet, and obviously at the time Gavin was still the manager. Gavin's just, you know,
Yeah, he just left.
yeah, just left them. But this was years ago. I mean, this is how long he's been there, you know.
Mm.
And they were playing on muddy pitches, and I remember I played one game and the pitch was so bad that you couldn't even pass. It was literally a game of where the ball's just hitting the mud, stop it, hitting the mud, stop it. It was literally like one of them games. I was like, I from that point, my head was gone. You know, I was gone. I was already involved in little things like streetwise and stuff like that, and then made a silly mistake. And went jail. Literally. So life went from top to rock bottoms in the space of a year, under a year, you know.
Mm. And she, when you kind of went to jail, I mean, what was your kind of mindset, you know, being in that environment?
Do you know what's so funny? Do you know one of the weak, like, I was so weak at that point. I think being judged for so long makes you either become someone that goes stronger or someone who goes weaker, you know. And I feel like it wasn't the fact of just Crystal Palace and everything else. I had a lot of pressure behind me, and a lot of people always judging everything I did. Oh, you should do it this way. Oh, you should do it that way. You should do it this way. You should do it that way. And a lot of all that pressure. When I went jail, I actually felt at ease. I felt like now no one's judging me. I can try and start again. I can forget football. I can forget everything. I can just, you know, start again in myself, you know, in a sort of way that it was a proper, you know, turn point for me. So I felt like as a grown man now, I don't blame anybody or blame anyone for my mistakes or my decisions, but I felt at the time that a lot of people were pushing me, you know, in that way. I couldn't understand things. No one was talking to me, if you understand, you know.
Yeah, it was kind of literally about how you let go and do this, and then you would do it without them actually kind of explaining why. And like you probably felt almost like a puppet, almost like, you know, you was just taking out instructions without actually knowing yourself.
It's funny that you said that. That's exactly what it was. I used to say all the time, "Oh, I'm living you lot's dreams." I used to, when they got to a point where you blow, and I used to blow and get angry. I'm like, why am I doing all this for you lot? Like, I don't want to do this. I want to go cinema. Like, I want to go chill. Like, do you know what I mean? But it was never a time where I felt like I had, you know, my own decisions. It was always, I'm trying to please, you know, please the managers at Palace, please this one, be this, and it's like, nah, I'm not being actually me, you know. I'm not being what I think. Sometimes I don't want to please you. Sometimes I don't want to say, you know, everything correctly. Sometimes I just want to say what's on my mind and not be judged for what I'm thinking. Do you know what I mean? Like, let me think what I want to think and work it out. And then maybe a week's time I might come back and say, you know what, you was right, you know, you was actually right, but let me work that out instead of someone forcing it on me, if in a sense.
You know? And what was your first? Actually, two things. What was your first meal outside of prison, and what did you do? The first thing that you did outside as well.
My friends took me to the calf, and freaking, because I was just like, I had a proper, you know, full English for a long time, whatever. But it took me like 2 hours to eat, man. It was so full and I couldn't even finish it. I was like, this is too much. I ate like a quarter of it and I was like, yeah, this is too much. I can't even eat. I was so used to, you know, when you're in jail, everything's slow. everything's slow. You know, you have your food, you be eating your food for long because you don't even realize that you're just sitting with it and just, you know, everything's just slower. So when you come out to fast paced stuff, I couldn't even concentrate on the food because cars are going past. I'm looking on that. Everything's just, it was just, you know, fast paced when I came out.
And regarding like the kind of fast pace and like you literally like how when like you was describing that you was kind of looking over your shoulder like was it like a sense of paranoia? Was it kind of like the sense of do I belong in this situation or this area? Again, you know, because like a lot of people just reoffend. So
it was, you know, at that time when you come out, you're sort of lost, like in a sense, like you know what they say, like, oh, if you go jail, you ain't gonna be able to do this, you ain't gonna be able to do that. You know, so you have that sort of mentality, like, so what am I gonna do now? You know, am I gonna go back and do nonsense, or am I gonna try and do this, or am I gonna try and do that? Oh, I can't do this because I haven't got that, or I can't. Do you know what I mean? It was just trying to work out which way to go and which is the right way to go in a sense.
And then your kind of journey back into football, like how did that restart?
I had enough of football, you know. I came out for a long time. It was probably about 5 years. So 5 years that I came out. And big up Dean Carpenter. For those who know Dean Carpenter, I'm gonna say he was the reason why I came back into football. He called me for Kent United, and was like, "Oh, look, I'm down here. We're starting something. You know, it's a lot of the boys that I play with from young. Everyone's here. You know, we want you to come and show." I'm like, "Look, mate, I ain't playing football for. I'm fit. Like, I don't even know if I can still play." And he was like, "Oh, just come and see what happens." Oh, listen, I went down there, had a great season. It was a fun time. Got really fit, you know. Had a good season. We came second that season. And then from there, I was just in, but I wasn't really fully in like how I am now. You know, I feel like a couple other people like Relic, part of management in Kumazi, he's another major reason why I'm in football again, because he always from school, he's a school friend. He was from school. He's gone through me from year 7, you know. And anytime we talk, he's always like, "Oh yeah, you should come down. I'm going here. Oh, you should come down." And it was funny because in school he wasn't the ones who played football. He never played for a football team or do you know what I mean, like that. He just wasn't involved in his own team outside of school, you know. So after a while, I was like, wait, all of these guys are playing football. I'm the guy that was playing football all these years, you know. I've been waiting for this. I've been wishing and waiting for my friends to, because when we was younger, my friends wanted to do, yeah, you know, other things. So now that everyone wants to do football, yeah, I'll get involved. So yeah, I'll give it to Dean Carpenter and Relic, definitely.
And then how does that kind of connect with the kind of Kumazi Strikers introduction?
Because Relic was playing for Kumazi, and another friend from our school called Drew was a centre back for Kumazi, and Drew was another player. Like when we was younger, he wasn't the greatest footballer, you know. And when I saw him at Kumazi, this guy's defending my brother at the game, and I'm like, "What is going on here?" So I'm like, "This is crazy." Like football. I learned something. I'll be honest. That's what happened. I learned that, you know, I have to be patient. That was the thing that taught me patience, because life slapped me in my face there, where it made me realize that everybody grows at different paces. Everyone grows. So someone might not be the best today, but in 10 years, you might be looking at them like your boss. They might be your boss, you know? So that was one of them ones where it's like, wow, Drew's become this good, you know. Let me go back. And at that time, I feel like I know quite a lot of the teams and people in all the teams that we play against, but no one knew I was playing. So at the time, Kumazi, my friend Relic, and my other friend Carl, who plays with Kumazi, the captain.
Yeah.
Um,
Quality player.
yeah, definitely. There, he's another sort of school friend. He went to a school close to us, so we was always, and they were like, "Look, come to Kumazi, like, come." I went to Kumazi. Similar thing that happened at Kent. Went down there for preseason, and then I just went down there. I was getting fit, and then I just loved the vibe. The vibe was there was just a family vibe there, you know. Everyone was just loving and jokey, and and just wanted to work hard. That's one thing about Kumazi that I always liked about them, is that they didn't have to be the best technically, but their players worked. They wanted to just play football honestly, you know. But sometimes when you get good players, they only want the ball. They only want to play when they have the ball, you know, when their team has the ball. When it's the dirty work and you got to run back after you lose the ball, they don't want to get involved with that. So it was nice to have a team that was like that, you know.
Mm. And kind of moving on regarding like the Kumazi journey, and again, like that's how we met. And again, just for kind of context for that, you know, anyone that's watching, I think it was the London Cup against Saha.
Yes.
That I came out to film.
Yes.
And again, you know, I didn't know none of the Kumazi guys.
Yeah.
I think the season before, you guys won the Albion and Bromley.
Yes.
So again, like a very like established team. But like you guys made me feel really welcome. You know, I was kind of really conscious of not being too intrusive because, of course, no one really knew me. But like, you know, you especially kind of made it really easy, and I just want to show everyone like a quick clip, which, you know, I love kind of going like back and literally putting on the amateur football Instagram. So I'm just going to insert the clip right now.
I'm a centre back. I played there. I got professional contract there. All them things. I understand it now. When the guy's about to run, you drop quickly. Drop to where you want to be. You hold your line so the strikers are up. So when you drop, you're in position to attack the ball. If you stand on their thing, all they do is sit. If I was standing, if I was playing against you lot, I would have a hell of a day. Especially being a strong guy, I'll just let you do what the guy done, stand in front of you lot, and just get the little flick on. You lot are watching the game like this. You're watching the game like this. The ball's gone, Lewis has lost it, next thing the ball's gone straight to his player. No one's even sitting there going, right, let me get tight to my man, just in case we lose the ball. Let me get tight, let me concentrate. Let me be on the game. When the ball is not in your hands or it's not in your position, you need to know, where is my player and who am I getting tight to? For no goals to go in.
What a clip.
Yeah. So it's cringe when you watch yourself back, innit?
Listen, I mean, again, it was kind of just been kind of God's blessing that I just managed to turn, and I managed to kind of catch that segment.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I know that you didn't actually know that I was even filming.
Nah, I was in the zone, man. I'm passionate. I want to win, man. I want to win everything. People that know me when I was fit and when I'm fit and I'm training, they know me. I want to win everything. I want to win. Doesn't matter. Like, even if it's a 10-meter race, I'll lose, but I want to win. Do you know what I mean? So, when I'm playing, I'm with a team, and I just want to insert my passion into them, you know, in a sort of way. So that's what that was at that time.
And now with the kind of, yeah, you know, as you said before, right at the beginning, it's a kind of transitional period. And, you know, we can say probably before the Sunday Football League, Kumazi were, I'd say, probably closer to the bottom half of the table rather than fighting for like the league. I mean, what was that like for you as like now part of management, and literally how like do you motivate like your players to kind of carry on playing and to kind of come out with that positive attitude?
I think that's what it is. What we had to do is learn as management. You know, management are also learning as well as the players are learning. So I think we started to learn a lot more things. And what I did, to be fair, I wasn't even with Kumazi when they won the Orpington and Bromley League. So I came after that league. But what had happened was a few of them players had left. And I just wanted to implement a change to make things, a bit more professional in a sense. As much as we're doing things Sunday, I always try to say to the boys that what I got taught, and I really do believe it, however you are on the pitch is how you're going to be in real life. If you're a person on the pitch that doesn't like to work, in real life, you're probably a person that doesn't like to work. And it's not the fact that I feel like things that you do on the pitch still resonate in your real life, So I just try to make them understand that, we have to first work hard and then everything else will come afterwards, And it's been a hard time to try and get consistency, but I feel like because, say for example, a group of players come 1 week and then 3 weeks later they come again. Once they start seeing the consistency through the management, they've started to be more consistent. So of late, we're getting more consistent, same numbers, same, you know what I mean? So we're trying our hardest now just to, no matter what, win, lose, we're a family. We're here for good vibes. We're still going to go out and do, group events and stuff like that. Because that's what we try to do at Kumazi, make it more than just football. It's actually a family, a friend vibe. We enjoy each other's, company and stuff like that. So that's the positivity that we try to push into the boys and just make them understand that we're doing a lot in the background, even for now getting the YouTube channel started up, KSTV, and trying to market the boys in a different way, because there's still some boys that they might not say it because they don't want to say it. Some people don't want to give their all, and then when it fails, everyone's like, oh yeah, you was trying, and then you failed. Some people would sit in the background and like they're not trying to become footballers, but I know I can see it. I can see how they act and how they go on and how they treat football. So it'll be a blessing to be able to market. And you never know who's watching. Someone could be watching, and then let's know you get your chance that you've been desiring for, looking for, you know what I mean, sort of thing. So yeah.
And Iggy and James, I mean, how important are those two guys at Kumazi?
They're the backbone of that club, man. They're really it's funny because they actually, that's teamwork there. They both understand their jobs individually and they do their jobs without any ego or so that's James is brilliant. He does everything for that club. He does everything for that club. And same with Iggy, he's a master scout. He's always trying to look for footballers, and he's out there and he goes and watches some of the boys that play Saturday, and you know what I mean. So people make mistakes, we make mistakes, but we're always willing to learn and and own up to our mistakes in a sense.
No, big shout out to Iggy and James. James was literally one of the first people after the Kumazi Saha game that actually called me and said, you know what, Tabriz, I don't really know you, but what you're doing, man, it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And he always kind of calls me, every kind of few weeks. I came down to last year's cook-off barbecue with the legends.
Yes.
Literally, James is Tabriz, man, you've got to come down, and he's always welcoming, always. And
100%, man. You're doing an amazing thing, man. You're doing an amazing thing, and you're getting your name out there. And I'm hoping everyone pushes your name as much as you try to push Sunday League and grassroots football, man. You can see the love that you have, and we appreciate it. That's why we're here. We don't really like to follow the crowd or get involved with things that are unnecessary, but I feel like this is something that is necessary to do.
Thank you. And even though it wasn't the best result against Hacks, but how like excited are you guys now being in the SFL?
We're excited, man. We want to play against the best teams. Like, I've never been a person that wants to play easy games. Why don't I want to play easy games? What's that going to do for you? It's not going to do anything for you, you know? And one thing about Hacks that was good is the reaction from the boys afterwards. You know, you could see that they were upset. You could see they were annoyed with themselves, you know? And I'm hoping that, you know, and that they bring a change to this week, you know what I'm saying? And whoever gets chosen to play this week understands what them boys went through last week by not shutting up shop in a sense, you know what I mean?
And you guys got, is it Grand?
Grand, yeah, we got Grand, big game.
Big game. Hey, you know, every single game in the Sunday Football League is a big game.
Massive. Massive. It's a cup final every game, and you know, the boys know where it is. Bragging rights, not joking, but it's serious. It's serious. It's serious. It's not a joke. And now the good thing about nowadays is, well, the leagues that we're in, Sunday League is not what Sunday League used to represent. You know, beers, oranges at halftime, smoke at halftime. You know what I mean? Like as much as that is the culture, we love that. I was weird, but now I feel like, you know, you're getting boys that actually are, you know, fit, staying fit at longer ages, you know, not getting to 28 and then losing their way, and then, you know what I mean? So it's good. It's good.
Mm-hmm. And you're pretty prevalent on social media as well. And literally, how was social media kind of influenced not only like football in general, but of course, you know, how you are as a young man?
It's obviously had a massive effect on everything, you know, on everything, not just football, but everything. I think that in terms of football nowadays, if you're talking about professional footballers, I feel like they even have to be even stronger nowadays, because whereas before it would be like Sky News or the newspaper, now it's with them 24/7, you know, 24/7. They're getting news reels. And how hard is it for you to not just be randomly scrolling on one of them apps for something you see about yourself, you know? Oh, he ain't this good, he ain't that good. Someone saying something, and then you've just got to sit there like, oh, you know, wow, all these opinions on me because of one game. So I feel like because this so easily accessible, you know, news nowadays, social media has made it a lot harder to be a professional footballer, you know. And nowadays also the way everyone's filming Sunday games, it's like Big Brother everywhere now, you know. Like, you know, do you know what I mean?
No one can hide.
No one can hide. There's a camera everywhere, you know. Everybody literally has a camera. So if you see a human being, you know, oh, he's got a camera, anyone can just literally post and you're on the show. So it's hard for the guys that are sort of introvert, you know, that don't want to be seen. They don't really want to be seen on camera and seen. Now when they're playing, are they playing within themselves because they don't want to run on camera, get nutmegged, and then, you know, they're a meme on Twitter or something like that, you know. So there's a lot of things that I think I don't know if people are thinking that way, but I feel like some people could be, you know, could be having them sort of insecurities.
And how can people find you and Kumazi?
We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram as Kumazi Strikers. I am everywhere, to be fair.
You are
oh gosh, I am everywhere. Devo House. I live stream through YouTube, Twitch as well. I play games. I do gaming. But mostly now the content that we're trying to give out is the football content that we're giving right now. So yeah, I've got a whole community over there based on gaming, Smokehouse community, we call that, run with a girl called Queen Smoke and myself, and we edit gamers video clips and stuff like that and market them in different ways and stuff like that. So I'm Debo House on Instagram, that's my gaming one, and Debo Slam is my personal one and whatever. So but yeah, man, Kumazi Strikers on YouTube, KSTV, AFC Kumazi Strikers. You can type it in. I think we're on episode 7 this week, which will be the Hacks game. Unfortunately, but nah, man, win, lose, we learn, we move on, we stick together and we stay positive. We stay positive, optimistic always, man. That's all it is with me.
Yeah, and I literally love the channel, man. Like I love the energy. I know that you like do like the commentary as well. And actually, before we actually go, I just want to big you up because you're a kind of very selfless individual. Again, as I said before, like against Saha, you kind of made me feel really, really comfortable. I mean, I've got so like many clips of like you speaking, and like even at the grand game where you guys lost on penalties, like you came up and said, you know what, it is what it is, man. Hey, like it's that's just football. But everyone can go home to their families and literally still literally enjoy the day. And also in the against Spartans, you literally went in goal, and like you don't really see that, and literally like it shows that you have no ego. You are there for the team. Actually, you want everyone else to perform, and
that's what I'm hoping to try to show. I've always the cameraman that I do work with, we've been working for years together on different adventures and stuff, and I've always tried to explain to him and to other people that you just always try to give, give. Don't worry about receiving because it will come. It will come. You're whatever you're asking for and wanting in the world, it will come. Just be as kind as possible. But I've been the worst. I've had ups and downs and I've had issues with a lot of people. But all of these things have made me realize, a lot of mistakes I've made and made me understand how to drop my ego and how to not think about myself and think about actually helping others. And since I've been doing that, to be fair to myself, life has been looking up. So, as a young man, I made a lot of mistakes and I learned from them. And as a grown adult, I believe now that I only want to try and show what I want to receive back. So for the young boys that are in my team, I want to show that I'll give. I always say to them, I think I even said it in the last game, I was on the bench for 2 years at Kumazi, I was on the bench, sitting on the bench, just with my kit on, if you need me, I'm there, I've played games and boss games in this league, when I'm fit, I've done, the dirt work, and I want everyone to be that same way, and hopefully it leaks onto the team. But it is, to be fair, there's we've got a good group of lads, we just need to just grow together, and that's it, and hopefully get what we deserve for the hard work.
I love that. And FT Bundy Gamers coming and said, trust me, and like he's bigging you up, and he's also bigging up that platform as well. So honestly, Bundy Gaming, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's part of the gaming communities. They come true.
Love that. So honestly, thank you kind of so much for like sharing like your story and your kind of journey, your kind of football and also life journey. And I'm sure that we'll be seeing each other
100%
in the near future.
100%, man. Thank you for having me on, and more success, man. More success for us both. And big at yourself. The show, everything you're doing is amazing. So big at yourself, Tobrice. Yeah.
Thank you. So like guys, remember every single Friday, I'll be kind of having someone from the Sunday Football League coming on. Today has been episode 1 with House player coach from Kumazi Strikers. Please like and subscribe. Do like all of the great stuff. and we'll see you next week, Friday.